Today is the first day that I start Fourth Wing, and I have never read these before. This is my first time read. I am half excited and half nervous. I'm excited for this because there's a lot of hype out there on it, and a lot of people are talking about how the main character Guy in this book is like their #1 book boyfriend. But I'm also a little nervous because I've also seen people say that these books were a giant flop for them and that they didn't like them. So I'm nervous about that. But I'm going to get into them, and you guys are going to be there with me. So let's do this together. There's a misconception that it's kill or be killed in the writer's quadrant. Writers as a whole aren't out to assassinate other cadets unless there's a shortage of dragons that year or a cadet is a liability to their wing. Then things may get interesting. Major Offendra's Guide to the Writer's Quadrant. Chapter 2. Can I jump in this book and push Jack off of the pulpit? What a jerk. Just saying. Okay, yeah, I'm imagining stabbing Jack in the eyeball when I sleep tonight. It'll be therapeutic. Well, now I understand why the book's called Fourth Wing. So I'm not even 100 pages into the book yet, and the main character, Violet, has already broken her arm. Book has me on the edge of my seat, like it did from the first page. I mean, yes, you have to get through the whole world building and all the information, but so far I'm loving it. It has caught my attention. Like, I want to absolutely know what is going to happen next. I can't wait. The enemies banter between the MMC and the MFC, there be some hate going on, and I am loving every second of it. I don't know. It does something to me. I just absolutely love it. And I'm already loving Xaden. Like, yes, like he is angry bad boy right now. I can't wait to read more. I'm so hooked. His eyes flare, and I don't miss the hint of a smirk on that infuriatingly decadent mouth of his. It should be against the codex to look that good and be so ruthless. Oh, she's totally into it. Whenever I have to come into town to get food items, I always have to make a stop and see what they might have for books. Okay, this is hilarious. I just pre-ordered this on Amazon. It's supposed to be in the mail today, but I got a different version. So instead of mine having pink pages, mine have it's like a special edition basically. In some of these books, I know, like this one, for instance, I believe Wildside is part of a series, and then I bought this one, but I'm hearing mixed things about it, and now I'm unsure. Hopefully I like it. Oh my gosh, I want to read this series, but I have to get book 1 first, but I really want to read that series. I read all of her original works a long time ago when they first came out. Unfortunately, they don't have the first one in right now. Oh my gosh, another really old series. You guys have no idea how long Christine Feehan has been doing her Dark series. I mean, you can look at the Dark series and you can see how many books there are, but when you're someone who has been around since the very, very first Dark book, which I believe was like Dark Prince, you won't understand how crazy this is. My body isn't built to stay on any dragon, let alone one of his size. There's no way I'll be able to stay seated. This is about to be the first and last ride of my life. Well, at least it'll be worth it. Oh my gosh, she's falling off the dragon, and he's just like, "You're making us look bad, stop it." Well, she knew she wasn't gonna be able to stay on. 200 pages in this book, and it has been nonstop action from the get-go. And where I'm at right now, I can't say anything, but it really makes me want to cry, like, already. And it's only book 1. And now I'm starting to understand what other YouTubers are talking about, because since they finished Onyx Storm, anytime they talk about another book, they say that they're having a hard time reading other books because the Fourth Wing trilogy completely wrecked them and destroyed any other hope of a book being good. Or they'll make a comment about a book only being a 3-star, and they're like, I don't know if it's a 3-star because it really is a bad book, or just because I'm in the Onyx Storm slump and I can't get out of it. But this book is so good so far. I can totally see finishing this series and having a hard time with other books. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. It's that good. Okay, she didn't bond just one dragon. She bonded 2 dragons. I kind of saw the gold dragon coming. That was what I was assuming she was going to bond with. But I didn't see the black one coming. I wonder how the fighting and the writing's gonna work out. Okay, so don't mind my hair. There's like 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts out there right now, and I had to go check the mail. But that book that I was telling you about came in the mail. Story of my life. And look at the pages. This is the new special edition that apparently what I paid for. I thought it was a brand new book, and I thought it just came out yesterday, but apparently it was the special edition, which I'm here for it because this is nice. It smells good. Is anybody else obsessed with the smell of books? Like, do you find yourself reading and then stopping and sniffing them? I love the smell of books. So I'm about 3/4 of the way done with this book, and I am just eating it up. The things that have happened in this book, I feel like there's something always going on. I absolutely love Violet. Oh my gosh, I can totally see why people have Xaden on their top 10 book boyfriend list. I've already got my nails hooked into this man. I'm telling you what. In the book, it makes it seem very much like he's protecting her because he has to, because her life is now tied in to his life, because both of their dragons are mates. But I think it's more than that. I really do. I just got through their first kiss, and
what? Your guys are murderers.
Who man, talk about steamy. It was like blush worthy, and it was hot, and it was fire, and I'm just like, yes, Violet, yes, go for it. You get it, girl. I totally would if I was in her shoes. But of course, he's going to downplay it as it was just their dragons. And she's going to downplay it as it was just the dragons. But come on, guys. We know. Oh, I can't wait to get back to reading. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I just have to thank all of the booktubers out there that brought this book to my attention. Thank you guys so much, because I cannot believe that I could have been walking through my life still to this day having not read this series. Like, thinking of that is just depressing. I'm going to eat some chips and read. Oh man, Violet's getting ready to fight Jack. Kick his ass. Kick his ass. Wait, what? He can speak in her head? Like the dragons do? So, Now she can hear his hot, sexy voice in her mind. That's enough to give me goosebumps thinking about. This is getting so good. Maybe it was when I saw Oren holding a knife to your throat, he says. Or maybe it was when I realized the bruises on your neck were fingerprints and wanted to kill them all over again just so I could do it slowly. Maybe it was the first time I recklessly kissed you, or when I realized I'm fucked because I can't stop thinking about doing more than just kissing you. My breath catches at his admission, but he just sighs, lets his head fall back against the wall. Does it even matter when, as long as it changed between us? So I've gotten really far in the book. I'm actually almost finished with it. And I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Things were going too great, going too well.
Wait, guys, let me
The MMC and the FMC were getting along. And I've read enough books to know that when that happens, the other foot is about ready to drop. And it just did.
Kill it.
So I kind of had my suspicions. And I'm not going to say anything, but I kind of had my suspicion about some things, and they just got confirmed for sure. So now I'll see how much they tell me before this particular book ends. Y'all, Liam just died. Him and his dragon just died. I just read that for the first time. I loved Liam. It was like one of my favorites. Let me know down in the comments how you felt. Did you cry when Liam died? It was so sad. I'm gonna cry my pillow now. I just finished book 1. Oh my gosh. This book ripped me apart, put me back together, ripped me apart again, and then electrocuted me back to life with the shocking ending. You know, for all of you people out there who read Fourth Wing before Iron Flame came out, man, you guys have my sympathies, because I am so glad that I have Iron Flame sitting on my bookshelf right now. If anybody's watching this that, you know, are OG readers, let me know down in the comments below, like, how long did it take between book 1 and book 2? Like, how long did you have to wait before you got to read book 2? I'm genuinely curious. This book was so good. So good. Just real quick, talking about my thoughts on this book. It was really good. I love how they tied in information about the world in a way that kept the story flowing. In my opinion, Rebecca Yarros did a really good job of just tying this world up into all of the action, and you learn as you go. She leaves you guessing all the time. I mean, yeah, there's some things that I predicted. I have clocked a lot of books in my lifetime. There's no such thing as a book that I can't, to some degree, predict. Rebecca did a really good job of even throwing me off, which again is really hard to do. So I'm very much impressed. And in the end, like, her brother is alive. Her brother is alive. And I can totally understand where Zayden's coming from, you know, with not wanting to tell her. You know, he didn't necessarily lie to her, but he did omit the truth, which, you know, tomatoes. I mean, it's still a lie in my opinion, right? But I also understand that he did it to protect her, and he did it because of her best friend and being able to, you know, read minds through touch. And she was a little too trusting of her best friend to not invade her space. Like, she didn't even realize that he'd already read her mind. So it's not like she would have done anything on purpose, but she would have jeopardized a lot just by accident. Yeah, but again, you know, they need some drama in there. You know, they need to bring them together and then pull them apart, because that's just what authors do in books. Have to get into Iron Flame now, because, you know, guys, you know, if you've read this, you know. If you haven't read this, read it. Go read it. Actually, speaking of that, I am going to be going and buying the audiobook series so that my husband can listen to it, because he's got to listen to these books. And I cannot wait. Like, I've been biting my tongue, trying not to say any spoilers, so that we can geek out on this series. Yeah. I forgot to mention earlier how freaking glad I am that Jack is dead. Good riddance to a sore loser. I am sorry that she had to be the one to kill him. I'm sorry that she had some difficulties with it, but good riddance. Here I go. Next book. First page. So I got a new bookmark. So cute. In honor of Fourth Wing. I didn't think anybody could top Jack on my shit list even after his death, but Varish has now made a role on my shit list, making her summon all that lightning. First off, happy St. Patty's Day. I can't believe it's the 17th already. I have not gotten much time to read, and I'm not even halfway through it. I'm absolutely loving these books. Now, I can see why people weren't as big of a fan of Iron Flame as they were Fourth Wing. I personally love it. I think it's just as good. There is a lot of time separation between Xaden and Violet, so I could imagine people not liking Iron Flame as much for that reason, because a lot of people are invested in the Fourth Wing series because of Xaden. Everybody loves Xaden, and I can see why. At the same time, I think it's important for the main character's growth to do some of this stuff on her own. That being said, there for a while, I was, at the beginning of this book, I was actually very annoyed with her. She was keeping secrets from Xaden, and she was just being so hypocritical. I absolutely love her, and I get where she's coming from, but at the same time, she can't be mad at Xaden for keeping secrets when she's keeping secrets. At least she made up for it. I just got through the part where she visited him and she admitted to him that she kept her secrets because he was keeping his, and it was kind of like a punishment, and he admitted it. And even though she still can't tell him she loves him, he knows it. And they managed to not fight this time, and they managed to cuddle instead. And she asked him a couple questions, and he answered her honestly, and I think that helps too. And I really want her to confide in Rihanna. I get that she doesn't want them in danger, but I agree with what her scribe friend said, and that was, you at least got to give them a chance. At least ask them, right? Like, it's their life, and if they want the truth, if they want to risk it, then they should be allowed to. Asking them if they want that choice isn't telling them what's going on. I mean, her friends are already smart enough to know that stuff's up, right? That she's keeping secrets. So it's not like it's a secret that she's keeping secrets. So she could at least say, hey, you know that I'm keeping secrets. I know that I'm keeping secrets. Here's a reason why I'm keeping secrets. Do you want in on the secret club? Just remember, we don't talk about Fight Club. So I can be frustrated with a character and still love them. We're getting close to torture sessions for her, and I think Varish is going to be a part of it, and possibly Solus. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is his draft. I am now currently about halfway through Iron Flame, and oh my goodness, has a lot happened. That's why I haven't said anything for a while. I have just been so focused on reading. Her and Xaden aren't getting time to be together. She gets tortured. Well, not like full on tortured, but like, almost. But luckily she escapes. Jack is back. What? Really? Is this anime? Like, seriously, is this He's back. And I am not believing his deceptively niceties that he's suddenly being. There's something going on there, and it's got me really nervous. Varnish is taking a step too far, but I'm so glad that Violet decided to confess everything to her friends and tell the truth because she needs them. I think it's wise to do it this way anyways because her best friend is really smart and she's going to catch on eventually anyways. Oh man, things are getting crazy. She's kind of forgiven Xaden in a way. She still doesn't trust him, but I think her friends so openly forgiving her, not being mad at her for keeping these secrets has made her rethink some things. I think part of her wanted them to be super mad at her because then she would feel justified in her anger towards Xaden still, but that's not there now. But unfortunately, she hasn't had time to spend with him because they keep, they keep forcing them apart. Ever since that she thought he was hurt, Taryn invaded her thoughts and they ended up going off and without permission. I just left off on the part where 4 infantry people are trying to assassinate her and another girl, and I'm just going, I have to find out what happens. But wait, Jack just saved her. I'm grateful, and I guess how he says it makes sense, but I can't help but wonder what's up. I mean, it would be great if suddenly he just saw the light, literally. I guess only time will tell, but I'm kind of shocked. I was not expecting that. Varnish deserved a lot worse. A lot worse than what happened after what he did to her. Can we bring him back to life so we can stab him again? So they launch a rescue mission. 101 riders and like 200 dragons are now with them. And like 4 professors and some scribes, and I want to be excited. Okay, I want to be excited for this whole thing. Like a bunch of stuff is happening, but there's also a part of me that is really, really worried. Like they just so openly trusted any and everybody that decided to go with them. I mean, like, I don't even think they'd stop to really assess who all went with them. For all they know, Jack could be in there somewhere. And I'm sorry, I still don't trust that man. Is nobody concerned that there's spies among them working on getting information? And I'm not worried about Dane. I have to believe that she was good friends with him since they were little for a reason, despite who his father is. But I'm worried about some of the professors. Like, I mean, look at the Mender. The Mender betrayed her. I mean, granted, I know a lot happened and it was all crazy, and I guess their dragons are vouching for them, but Solus vouches for his rider, and his rider was a psychopathic nut job. So obviously you can't even trust the words of dragons, right? I guess I'm gonna read on and find out. It is somewhat fitting that the only weapon capable of killing a dark wielder is the same thing that drove them to soullessness. Power. Kat has now made it to the top of my shit list. I didn't think anybody was gonna pass Jack. I mean, I get it. She was in love with Xaden. Okay, I get it. You don't just get over something that easily, and something tells me he was the leading force behind the breakup. But at some point, move on. If she thinks she's gonna win a man over by acting like a child, she has got another thing coming to her. I mean, seriously. The commentary of dragons in her head is so funny. Scratch your eyes out, and Darna suggests, really, the eyes are the softest tissue. Just jab your thumbs in there. And Darna, use some common sense. Darna snaps. The kneecaps are a much easier target. wins his arguments. Fun times. Anybody else want a throne? Violet has a very good point in this book that people in your life, maybe they're rivals, bullies, friends, family, people you just don't get along with. The only power they have over you is the power you allow them to have. Don't give them the power. Don't give them their power. I'm really happy with where things are going with Violet and Dane. They were best friends, and I can understand the hate in everything that went down, and I can see how they'll never be able to go back to what they were. I mean, they're grown-ups now. They've been through a lot of things have changed, but I'm glad that they're not enemies anymore. As soon as he gets over his love for her, because he's still in love with her, but as soon as he lets that go, I think that there might be a chance for them to become friends again, and I really hope so. Anyways, I am this far in Iron Flame. I'm loving it so much. It's such a good book. The FMC and the MMC didn't get to spend as much time together in this book as they did in the first one, so maybe that's some of the people's problems, but I feel like how the events happened in this book were important to each other's characters' growth. You know, a relationship can't be a relationship if you don't grow. Everybody has their own individual growth that they need to go through, and you have to support the other person in that. My only hesitation about this is I feel like, I guess I was expecting the relationship between the two of them to take the course of all three books. Like, I always kind of got the vibe that they weren't going to get together until close to the end of the third book. And I have learned in my experience that when the two main characters get together early on in a series, especially the first book, things are going to happen. Like, a lot of things are going to happen. And it kind of did. Like, they got together in Fourth Wing, and then ended up, you know, at the end of it. So then you get the beginning of Iron Flame, and there's this whole, you know, I love you, I'm gonna make you love me too, but she doesn't want to forgive him, and so you spend like half of the book with her just like mad at him, fighting and stuff. And so now here they are together again, and they're coexisting, and things are going great. And knowing I have another book to get to, I'm a bit nervous. I'm wondering what's going to happen. Either she's going to get kidnapped, he's going to get kidnapped, something bad's going to happen at the end. I'm going to go with something happening to him, because she's already had an interrogation happen to her, and she already had in the first book she was stabbed and almost died, and her brother had to save her. So I'm going with something's going to happen to Xaden towards the end of the book, and that's going to split them apart. What happened in the last 50 pages of Fourth Wing, and I feel like, I mean, some things have happened already, but I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of the things that are going to be happening. So, like, we learn that Xaden has another signet. What? And that's he can read the people's, like, not quite reading their thoughts, but like their intentions, right? Like that instant right before you take a step. And so I can understand why she's upset and why she's second guessing everything, because that's just who she is as a person. I like how the two dragons right now are fighting, and the way she described it is like they're not talking to each other. So it's like, okay, got it. Mommy and daddy are fighting. We all know. How she said that was kind of funny, but these are just thoughts going through my head, and I figured I would share them. So now I'm gonna finish the book. I knew when I got to the last 100 pages of this book that it was gonna completely wreck me, and I was almost nervous. I get so invested in stories, but still, her mother dying. I'm not even a fan of her mother. I hated her mom, like, through the other two books all the way till the end, but I'm a mom myself, and thinking with a mother's heart, I would do anything for my babies. So I just finished Iron Flame right before I came out here to do my 3-mile run, and I had to talk about it real quick. So her mother's dead, and Zayden is turning into the bad guy. What? I'm holding on to the hope that book 3 is gonna pull something awesome out of that hat, because a lot of people are raving how good it is and how much they love it, and they're all huge Zayden fans. So I'm holding out hope, but I'm a bit nervous about starting the 3rd book, which works out okay because my video game that I've been waiting for since like summer last year came out today, so I'm gonna do this run and go play that for a bit. But I do plan to start Onyx Storm later this evening. Talk about cliffhanger at the end of Iron Flame though. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna be like trucking things. Just let's put it that way.
She's already met her beloved. So, because of course the very first uber sexy male character that you run into in the book is going to be the beloved. And of course, because he's, the son of the traitor, that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
we met Zayden.
Yeah, and they've already organized underneath. So she's under his wing, command, or whatever they want to call it. So the first overly well-described handsome boy is always going to be the love interest. And the first overly described asshole is either going to be the first kill, or he's going to be the, beyond the shadow of doubt right hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just have this feeling that either A, Zayden is not going to find a cure until the very end of the book, and then something else is going to happen to split them apart, or he's not going to find a cure at all, he's going to get worse, and then that's how the book's going to end. I just have a feeling. My list keeps changing. I went from hating Kat to actually liking her and respecting her and getting her. Now Jack's back up at the top, and of course Varnish is dead, but now we've got Dane's dad, which he's quickly making his way up my list. Zayden's become a professor, and he's working really hard to make sure the codex is followed to the T. So now he has Violet being followed by everybody. Not to mention she's supposed to go on this quest to find out things about her dragon, and she doesn't even get to pick the people that she goes with. It should be people she trusts. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go out into what's already dangerous situations beyond the wards when I can't trust the people to have my back. You know what? She just needs to use that power. I'm taking these guys, and that's the end of it. Or you can kiss me. You can kiss my ass as I leave and leave you guys on your own, because you know they're not going to want that. They need her. Surprisingly, the book is surprising me. After the way Iron Flame ended, I just wasn't sure if I was going to really like Onyx Storm, I had some hesitations because of things that had happened. I'm learning to accept the things that have happened already and then just do my best to move past that. I realize that those that have 5-starred this series are people who love the drama. The Fourth Wing series definitely has lots of drama to eat up. It's not so much a will they or won't they scenario so much as a can they, right? Like, things just keep happening, events keep happening. I don't know, sometimes I'm here for that, but then there's other times I'm not. Like, but honestly, that's what romance books are about, right? Like, you're never going to find a romance book where they're together in the beginning, and even I would get bored of that. So I don't know, sometimes I guess I'm just really weird. I contradict myself, right? Like, if a couple gets together early on in the book and nothing happens and it's just them together and nothing else, then I could see the book getting boring. So I'm kind of embracing that, and that's what's helping me move past what had happened in Iron Flame. I love the other aspects of the Fourth Wing series. It's not just about the FMC and the MMC. It's also about all the other characters that I have grown to love in this story, and all the other relationships that Violet has in this book, and all of the banter and the adventures and stuff that she goes on with her friends and her found family that also keep me engaged. And I've definitely read a lot of books where, you know, if it wouldn't have been for the FMC and the MMC relationship dynamic, the rest of the book would have just totally tanked. So it's nice to read a series that's very well-rounded, right? It's got enough to keep you going with the MMC and the FMC, but it also has this underlayer that even if that wasn't a prominent part of the story, it would still be a good book. I am definitely loving this book.
Besides, with all this time we have coming up together on this mission, I thought maybe you'd at least be willing to have a quiet dinner with me. His smirk slips. Tell me you don't let your non-boyfriend control you. Allow me to apologize properly the way I should have 3 years ago. He lifts a hand toward the loosened strands of my braid, but never makes it. Shadows blast straight through the wards and hit Halden in the chest like a battering ram, sending the crown prince of Nervi flying backwards straight into the rock wall. Shit. Zayden's done it now, guys. Zayden's done it now.
Yes, love, I'm jealous. He splays his hand over the small of my back and tugs me toward him. I'm jealous of the armor that holds you when I can't, the sheets on your bed that caress your skin every night, and the blades that feel your hands. So when the prince of our realm walks into my classroom and starts talking to the woman I love with what can only be considered intense familiarity, and then has the audacity to ask her out right in front of me, naturally, I'm gonna get jealous. I can see why so many people love him. I've noticed that Rebecca Yoros has a way of writing to make you think something is one way just to realize it's not what we think it is. So right now, in the beginning, we were led to believe that the Griffin Riders were the bad guys. Come to find out they're not. They're fighting against the Venin. When they take from the earth, the price for that is losing a bit of their souls. But you would think that if the Venin were completely soulless, mindless creatures, they'd be just like a bunch of zombies running around trying to eat flesh, right? I have a feeling that it's not going to probably touch on it in this book. Somehow in the next book, I think it's going to come to light that the Venin aren't the villains that we seem to think that they are.
Yes, Violet, yes. Oh, you say it, you say it. Oh, what I would love to say to Markham. You don't speak.
Not to me. As far as I'm concerned, you have the credibility to be a drunkard and the integrity of a rat. Yes. So I had this crazy random thought while I was reading my book and exercising. And has anybody else thought about Sloane? If Sloane can touch somebody and take away their power, could she maybe learn to harness her signet and suck away just the powers that Xaden took from the earth? Like, not take his signet, don't take his shadows, things like that, but just take away the venom powers. Like, hello, they have a test subject down below that she could work on. Am I the only one thinking this? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm really enjoying Onyx Storm right now. I'm about 100 pages away from finishing the book. There's just certain things about the end of Iron Flame and most of Onyx Storm that frustrates me a little bit. These things naturally happen in real life, so why not in a book? If it didn't happen in a book, it wouldn't feel real. So I get that. And I also get that because I'm reading fantasy romance, the type of drama that they can come up with for couples is going to be on a higher extreme than any normal rom-com, right? Because the imagination is limitless on the things that you can do to a couple. I'm not exactly sure how it works. If there's one thing I've noticed, everybody's signet does more than what it claims, right? Like, it's not so much as just being a metal bender. It's about what you can do with that, right? Riddick is a perfect example. He's an ice wielder, but he has worked and manifested his ability to the point where, I mean, he's still working on it, but the thesis is that he would be able to freeze the blood in a person's body and basically make them explode in ice, right? At least that's what I'm imagining. Okay, we're getting ready for epic battle scene, so I had to come prepared. So I got some barbecue Dorito chips and I got my zero sugar orange cream. The Doritos probably a bad choice, maybe, but I am doing a lot of running this week, so I'm not worried about it as long as I don't eat the entire bag. But Doritos are required for the epic battle scenes that are getting ready to happen. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the battle and I was expecting, you know, bad things to happen, but I wasn't expecting Indarna to be gone. Oh, that was heart-wrenching. Oh, poor Violet. Okay, does anyone else feel like the dreams that Xaden is having that Violet is encroaching in on seem a little too not dreamlike? I mean, I've been asking myself this entire book and even some of Iron Flame. There's something about them that doesn't seem like a dream. It's almost like maybe the sage that keeps coming to Xaden's dreams. What if he's a dream walker too? That's how he's giving his warnings, because he said in the dream, he's like, you'll come or she'll die. And he said that before Violet learned that her sister was taken. And who would have known that I would end up liking Kat? Now I kind of like her. She's like one of those friends that you almost like the most because she's brutally honest and you know that whatever she tells you is going to be fact. There's like no messing around with her. And although sometimes what she says can be harsh, there's that saying, truth hurts. So yeah, anyways, I am almost done. I am on chapter 58. Yeah, I'll be done soon. They're getting ready to launch a mission to go rescue her sister.
How does Zayden's dragon feel about me endangering Zayden? Had she not agreed, she would still be in Arita and your dark one would be walking. And then, not even like 2 paragraphs later, and you think I should have accepted Mira's death as a sacrifice? If I did, I would still be in Arita and you would be walking. Yeah, well, way to make sense.
I just got through the part where Quinn died, and I feel like such a blubber baby. Rebecca Yours really knows how to write a death scene. Really knows how to make you feel it. The part where Imogen and where Quinn first met, and she's like, I've decided you're gonna be my best friend, and Imogen's like, you realize we're getting ready to cross the death pit, right? And she's like, well, then it'll be a quick friendship, let's make it a good one. And then right before Quinn dies, she says, Imogen, it was a good one. All I'm gonna say for those who haven't read the book yet, you're gonna go through every single emotion imaginable. It's totally worth it, but make sure you have tissues. And if you're a crier like I am, and you're embarrassed about that, which I'm not, but if you are, stay indoors when you read. I still have about 20 pages to go, and I'm almost afraid. I have no clue where Zayden's at, if he's okay or if he's channeled. Violet's on her way to go after Stephanie. Mira almost died. Whew, my emotions right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Man, talk about emotional whiplash.
Well, I have officially finished all 3 books. I just finished Onyx Storm. I am currently in a what the freak mentality. I mean, Zayden uses his power, says that that only one person can help him, that she promised him. It's very vague, right? And then suddenly she shows up after being gone for 12 hours, has no memories, and realizes that Imogen messed with her memories. When asked, it was, Imogen said, I did what you asked me to do. And the only way I could think that Violet would willingly want her memories taken from her is if she was genuinely worried that she would be used against Zayden somehow. In the last battle, everybody has to know that he turned. Only way for her to be able to take care of people is to become the Duchess, which is clearly why they got married. There's got to be more to it. There's a plan. I mean, the note says, don't look for me. And obviously, Zayden's friends are with him. Garrick is with him. The only thing, I don't know, Imogen must have stayed to keep Violet safe. This book has literally just my mind. You ever have those moments where you're feeling so many emotions at once that you really don't know what you're feeling? That's kind of how the end of Onyx Storm made me feel. Absolutely love this series. You have to go in knowing it's going to completely wreck you. And there's going to be times where you're like, really? Did we honestly have to go there? And I had that moment. I had that moment at the beginning of Onyx Storm where I was like, really? Did we really have to go there? I mean, but you know what? It didn't stop me. I kept going, and I'm glad I did. Onyx Storm is by far my second favorite book out of the series. This is going to conclude my video. I feel like I have just come off a roller coaster ride of my life, and I don't even know what to think. I don't know if I want to cry. I don't know if I want to laugh. I don't know if I want to have hope, or if I don't want to have hope. I am a complete and utter mess. And now I need to try to find a nice, funny, carefree rom-com to deal with all this emotion. I just hope that I don't have the same struggle that other people have had when reading the Fourth Wing series, because, yeah, I feel changed. Bye.